G'day guys, it's Flynn here from Offshore in Asia. Today we're talking to you about moving to Thailand from Australia and how it's probably a lot easier than what you think. We're Offshore in Asia, an offshore consulting firm that help people move, do business, invest in Southeast Asia. I think we all know at least one Aussie who lives in Thailand, and between the weather, the people and the cost of living, who can blame them? A lot of people see it as a pipe dream and just brush it aside as something they could never do, but in reality it's pretty damn easy really when you consider for most people, getting a visa is a pretty easy process. On top of that, the cost of living is lower than Australia, so there's really not much stopping people, at least in the way of financials and legal reasons. Pretty much all you need to do is sort out your banking and your visa, and then you're done. So we'll get straight into it. So with the visas, there's plenty of options. The ones you want to look at are the retirement visa if you're over 50, that's almost always the best option. The elite visa, if you're a person of high net worth, you can just pretty much pay a fee and get a long-term 5, 10, 20-year visa that comes with a bunch of perks and it's worth the money. Then you also have the ED visa for people under 50 who can't get the retirement visa, don't have the money for an elite or an LTR visa, one we'll touch on in a sec. The education visa is a great option. So you can just get this for learning Thai, Muay Thai, cooking, and it's pretty easy to get. Realistically, the government is tightening down on it a little bit just because it's been exploited by some people. However, if you're actually attending classes and doing a good job of it, you're going to have no troubles. I'd recommend learning Thai. I did it and it's worth the effort because if you're going to be living here, it's so much better to know the language. There's also a lot more niche visas depending on your situation. So you have things like the LTR visa, which is long-term resident visa. This is what was touted as the digital nomad visa. In reality, it's more for higher income digital nomads and retirees. So it depends on your situation, but that's a good option. Otherwise, you have volunteer visas, business visas, some investment visas also floating around in there, and they're all going to work well in your specific situation. All right, guys, the next topic is banking. It's much easier than what you'd think and what a lot of people will tell you. It's just about knowing how to do it. Then it gets a lot easier. So firstly, assuming you're making your money inside Australia, earning a pension, or you have savings, or you're receiving an income otherwise, what you're going to do is pay yourself from your Australian bank account. You'll set up a Wise account and you'll pay that account. And from that account, you'll convert your Australian dollars to Thai baht and then pay yourself in your Thai bank account. Setting up a Wise account is super easy. It's just like setting up any other bank account. You go on, sign up, you enter a few details, and then you're ready to go. It pretty much functions like a bank account or an international card if you've ever used one, and you transfer between accounts with that. And it's super easy because it converts currencies at the lowest exchange rate you can get. To open a Thai bank account, you go into a branch, tell them you want to open an account, and you'll just need a TM30 and your passport. Bring about 5,000 baht because there'll be a minimum deposit requirement and you'll have to pay to get a physical ATM card, which I highly recommend. As a side note, you'll want a Thai phone number so you can verify and log in to your mobile banking app. Mobile banking's great in Thailand, it's super convenient. It's really good for things like ScanPay, which is a QR payment system, as well as paying for larger ticket items that you'd typically want to keep a record of, like say monthly rent. If you're wondering if you can get the pension in Thailand, the answer is yes. If you're an Australian receiving the pension in Australia, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be able to get it over there too. With, let's say, vast majority of cases, that won't be an issue. The pension supplement will drop to the base rate and you'll lose the energy supplement. However, when you factor in the geo arbitrage and the cost saving of living in Thailand, it's not really a big issue if you ask me. Aaron did a great video on this, I'll link right here. As far as accommodation and where to stay, I'd recommend at least at the beginning just getting a monthly rental. It's a really simple and much less strung out process in Thailand. You just find a few rentals you like in the area, usually in apartment buildings, ask to inspect them, and then usually you can just pay then and there on the day, a month up front plus a bond, which is usually about a month's rent as well. That's typically how it works, so you can reach out to us if you want to learn a bit more about that. I'd just like to add, don't burn the boats. It's tempting to sell your house, car and dog and then just move. But if you haven't lived overseas before, just keep some stuff in place back in Australia in case you want to return. You might say now, oh, I'm never going back. However, when you're over in Thailand, it might not be what you expect and you want to have everything in place for when you get home. To recap quickly, so the two big things you want to figure out is your visas and your finances. I touched on them before. You're just going to get the best visa for you, which we can help you find out. And then for your finances, you're just going to set up a Wise account so you can transfer your Australian dollars to Thai baht, and then you're going to open a Thai bank account, and that way you can do all the withdrawals and transactions and get an ATM card without the excessive fees of an Australian or other travel card. As for finding accommodation and things like healthcare as well, they're all pretty simple to figure out, and we'll touch on them in other videos to a greater extent, but just have a look at some of our blogs or anyone else's blog. There's plenty of information on that. Thanks for watching. If you need a hand with anything or want some advice, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to help you out, and check out a few of these videos as well.